What do you think about it? What's in the big picture? Can anybody call it besides me? How you like my shirt there? Yeah, I love my Patriot shirts. I'm gonna buy a couple more of them here real soon. I just constantly buy Patriot stuff all the time. You might say it's become part of my life. Today, we're going to take a look at what anti fascism is today. A lot of people seem to be really confused about a lot of things when we're talking about and calling people anti fascist. So, what I'm going to do today is give everybody opportunity to have a good look and understanding, a better understanding of who these people are. Got to go publish a little something here. Hmm. Dan Bongino. Well, he's really stepped his game up, hasn't he? Chuck Schumer is nothing but a pure scumbag piece of trash. I'll tell you, there's a lot of these communist people involved in what's going on in America right now. It's incredible. There's been a coup going on right now. And it's been going on for a lot of years. And the objective was to undermine and overtake America from within. And I believe all these people are guilty of treason, and they should all be put to death. I don't care if it's 5,000 of them. We can do it very humanely. Just do like they did in Germany. Walk them into a building and gas them. Be pretty quick and effective, wouldn't it? That's what I truly believe. That's what they need to do is prosecute these people for treason, like Chuck Schumer, Governor Brown, Maxine Waters, all of these people that are involved. It's due process. Should be tried for treason and stuck in a gas chamber. I got no problem with that. I got no problem with that at all. See, when Hitler wanted to commit genocide against people, he came up with a way to do it and to extinguish the lives of a lot of people at one time. It's just what he was doing was wrong. And I'm not for the genocide of any people, but I do believe in punishing the corrupt. And if our enemy want to go to war with us right here in America, I have no problem with starting up some gas chambers somewhere, and gassing 1,000 of them at a time. Or if you get a big enough building, shove them in there like sardines and do 5,000 at a time. I got no problem with that. SensaraTaylor.org has been taken down, by the way. It's not up at this point in time. For whatever reason. So let me show you guys some things. I think you're going to kind of enjoy what I have to show you today. Right here, I'm trying to go to SensaraTaylor.org, and you can see that her site's simply not coming up. This will be like the third or fourth time I've hit it, and it's just not there. So her site is officially been taken down. I also noticed something else. When you go to the Wikipedia for Sensara Taylor, you don't see any mention of her Antifa work whatsoever. In fact, it's as though she left the anti-fascist organization altogether, but she hasn't. Now, when you go there, it says that she's an American painter and activist for disability and animal rights. Oh, she's such a good person. She currently resides in Oakland, California, and has taught classes at the University of California, Berkeley. Taylor's work has been displayed at the Smithsonian. She's such a great person, right? That's all you read here is a bunch of feel-good BS. Somebody went here and erased all memory and notes of her having anything to do with anti-fascism whatsoever. She is part of the long neck clan, though. If you ever seen her or seen a picture of her, she's one of the long neck clan. I'm gonna do a meme, and I'm gonna post all these long neck cucks like Zuckerberg and all them. That dude that hit the guy with a bicycle lock, remember? He had a real long neck, right? Just like Zuckerberg, just like Sensara Taylor, just like a lot of them, man. They're part of the long neck clan. And the long neck, people having long necks, is actually something that developed in the Middle East originally. So that I just find that interesting. And then it has spread to Africa, and also apparently it spread into parts of Europe, right? So I just call them the long neck clan. But here's refusefascism.org, which is the home of anti-fascism in the United States. See, Bob Kevorkian was part of that 70s clan that was going around bombing buildings and all that. And one day he went after Ronald Reagan with a handgun and got caught going into the White House with a handgun. So they arrested him, put charges on him. He bailed out and flew to the United Kingdom. I'm not sure why they haven't sent him back yet. Possibly because that is punishable up to the death penalty. That might be the reason why, right? And rightfully so. So it says a regime that tortures children in cages must be driven out. We have the plan, help make it happen. Actually, what this should read is we are the regime that wants to torture children in cages. Because these people are the fascists. Okay, because refuse fascism and all of those type of groups use the Maoist constitution, which is a totalitarian constitution. I've shown that before on my other videos. You can go Google it and read all about it. That is what these people use as their premise for their values. And that's why Bob Kevorkian wanted to kill Reagan, because he would not back the Maoist empire of China when the people rebelled against it. What is refuse fascism? Well, it's actually a bunch of fascists that got people brainwashed and they're actually a communist dictatorship movement to take over America. That's exactly what it is. This is not good people doing good work. This is bad people doing bad things. These are bad people. These are the globalists, in fact, the people that want to make America a globalist nation. These are the people that have caused the downfall of California and other countries as well. It's not just America. Let me show you a little meme I just did. I actually took a meme and kind of made it a little bit bigger. Well, I took this meme right here, and I thought I posted it on here, but maybe I hadn't posted it yet. Let me pull up my Microsoft Paint. You know I love my Microsoft Paint, right? Oh, this computer. I might need to hit the delete on the catch deal there. Something ain't popping up here. I don't know why I'm having a problem here. There we go. I could have swore this is where I put it. I could be lying. Maybe I stuck it in here. No, not there. Huh. Oh, I know what happened. I don't have my pictures plugged in, so it can't find it. That's what the problem is. There it is. Got my pictures hooked up here. My little picture flash drive.
Call from 1936-641-5009. Call from 1936-641-5009.
Hello. Well, whoever that was just hung up. I don't know who it was. Maybe I call him back. No, wrong number. This is actually a dildo company. Are you interested in buying a dildo? Well, we sell them to men and women. Okay, well, thank you. If you decide that you want one, please call back. That's one of those sales companies. They keep calling asking for somebody else, and they know that this ain't that person's number. This is a very accurate little meme I did right here. This is Christian Republican people over here, and this is what happens to your area, your neighborhood after the communist, Democrat, anti-fascist, who are the fascists actually, do damage to your country. What used to be Rhodesia, a very throbbing country that was doing really good economically, through the efforts of Antifa like groups, actually, your terrorist organizations over there, Um, by using the same tactics as they did here, Rhodesia became known as Zimbabwe. And we know what Zimbabwe is. It's a very poor, filthy country. Same things happened in South Africa. The whole South Africa was doing very good economically. And then they moved in the era of racism against white people. And now we have the new South Africa, which looks like this. We're also seeing the same thing in the United States, only we've turned against it. We've turned against that hate mongering where they're trying to divide and conquer us, right? And if y'all remember, the old San Francisco was actually doing really good economically. But who wants to go there now? Because now California looks like this, with the biggest homeless population of any state in the United States. In fact, they account for 1/3 of all the homeless people in America today. That's unheard of. That is an alarming number of people. And it's all due to the Democrats taking over, turning California into a communist state. I don't need to save it. I already got it. This is me on Gab, obviously. So this is what Refuse Fascism wants to do to America. They want to run out all our business, send it overseas so that they could take over America. They follow the likes of Carl Dix, Doris Johnson, Fran Luck, Isabel Cardenas. So this is where it all started out at. However, you can get involved according to them. I mean, who in their right mind would want to be associated with scumbags like this? I don't know. Here are 5 ways to get involved. Let's go check that out real quick. 1. Spread the call to act in indictments of the Trump-Pence regime. Oh, so we could put in some communist bastards and just turn America into a trash dump? What kind of stupid are these people? Want you to follow them on social media. Oh, we're going to keep an eye on you. Don't worry about that. Donate and ask your friends. In other words, ask your friends to donate. I'd smack any of my friend told me to donate to these cunt bags. Get your lawn sign, gear, and organizer kit. Might say, what's an organizer kit? Well, what they want you to do is to organize your own little group so that way it's not run by a central group. They don't want to create a nationwide Antifa, but they want to be the central force of that. So, in other words, I could create, say, an Antifa in Houston, Texas. In fact, they have one, right? And I would then get active, just like these people are doing. I would be active in Houston. I could also take directive from these people right here, Sensara Taylor, and some those people's names I threw off to you. They want to stay in communication with each other so that they can help each other out. See, there's Bob Avakian's name right there. Bob Avakian, the traitor who tried to kill Reagan. Literally. He does deserve the death penalty. You're absolutely right. So when you talk about them getting organized, you can do something like Refuse Fascism and come down here and read all about Refuse Fascism, for example. It's got dates on what they've been doing and all that kind of good stuff. Now, prior to Refuse Fascism, the anti fascists here called themselves open source. Open source kind of got overtaken by Refuse Fascism. And Refuse Fascism started up right after the 2016 election. They are, in fact, a revolutionary communist party. See that right there? This is the party that started Refuse Fascism. So when you support these people, you're not supporting the people, you're supporting a totalitarian constitution and a communist party, which should not even be allowed in the United States. They believe in Marxism, Leninism, and Maoism. And the guy that shot Lenin, one of my heroes, baby, he did America right. He should be held as a hero, and that's what he should have been held up as because he's a hero. They also have the Revolutionary Communist Youth Brigade. Yes, in our schools right now, they're trying to recruit your kids into these communistic parties. You know, just say no to your parents. Just argue with your parents about anything. Like how to clean a spoon. Well, don't you got to clean the sides too, mom and dad? Well, duh. You know, things like that. And look here, another Maoist Students for a Democratic Society, SDS. Students for a Democratic Society. Now, who is Bob Avakian? He's a Marxist communist. He is actually one of the founders of the Communist Party. He started up all the bad things all over the place. He's part of the free speech movement, which is actually the anti-free speech movement. Um, he's involved. He's heavily involved with helping the Students for a Democratic Society, which is actually a communist society. Um, what they're trying to do is change America from a republic to a democracy so that they could then change it over to the socialist nation. And then instead of going by way of communism, they can go by way of a totalitarian system in which these people actually think they will be the leaders of America. In the UK, you can look up a lot of the Communist Party out there and a lot of their Antifa groups out there. It was all started by Bob Avakian, even though it don't talk about it in here. So now you got a little insight as to who runs what. Look here, Texas Antifa. They don't like Debbie Riddle because they say she's a fascist. Oh, so this is what this is really about. Some gay guy wants to call everybody homophobic Christians because he thinks that Christians are really homophobic. In other words, he's an idiot. Um, and by reading that right there, it just tells you that he's a hypocrite because he doesn't even know what he's talking about. That just tells you he's a complete, utter idiot. So they want to go after Christians. That's their prime target. Well, I got news for them. They're heavily outnumbered in America because this is a Christian nation, period. No, my fault. You're too stupid to actually go study the Bible and learn what the Bible actually says. Now, these people rather just point fingers and say, oh, he's homophobic because he's a Christian. Like, oh my God. You know? If you want to do more study about it, any of these individual groups, you can. It's not hard. Um, I'd actually join, huh? Just so I can infiltrate their ass. Wouldn't be hard. Believe me, it's easy to join these groups. So you can go Texas Antifa founder, and there it is right there. Antifa routed in Austin. And I mean, you can just continue to read all the stuff about them. And through reading a lot of these articles, you'll learn who they are. This is obviously an independent Antifa branch. There's Antifa, United States. Um, they try to say that, like right here, what you're reading, they try to pretend that they're the same anti-fascists of the old Nazi Germany, which is not the case. And they say anti-fascism in the United States, which stretches back a century, tracing its roots to the 1920s and 30s, when militant leftists were involved in battles against American pro-Nazi organizations such as Friends of New Germany. And you continue on reading it. It traces back to Weimar Germany, where the first group described as Antifa was anti-fascist itch. Acton or whatever the hell that name is, and it was formed in 1932 with the involvement of the Communist Party of Germany. And then, of course, World War II took place. Now, what these people were good Christian people back then who were fighting totalitarianism, which was what Hitler was doing. He got his people riled against the communists of Russia to where they hated communists, trying to tell them, I'm going to promote you. I'm going to make you wealthy. We're going to take their land. We're going to take their businesses. I'm going to take France and Spain, and we're going to have all the access to the ocean that we need. And all the while lying to his people, saying we're fighting communism, when in fact his group moved in there and actually turned Germany into a communist nation. Technically, through his eyes, it was a democratic nation. Well, yeah, Germany was democratic until he took over. And then it became a nation that was actually run by a totalitarian dictatorship. How else can you go around killing hundreds of thousands of Jews and get away with it? Because in any normal society, you would have been executed for that. In fact, we execute people for murder here in the United States. So these people try, what they do is they pose as good people when actually they're the bad people. Most of these punks are actually people that have inherited millions of dollars. You know, a million, 10 million, $20 million. They inherit this money and they put it towards these groups instead of doing something productive with it. Like going into business. I mean, you can go buy an oil changing company. You can go buy lawnmowers and start up, landscaping business or something, right? But no, they're too lazy. Nowadays we got the skinheads against racial prejudice, which is nothing more than another Antifa group trying to help spread racism. You got Rose City Antifa, Redneck Revolt. Well, the Rednecks originally formed out in Fort Worth, Texas, um, in the 80s. Prior to that, you never heard the term redneck. Redneck is a group of homosexuals that went around trying to rape other men, Christian men. And in fact, they did. They ganged up on them and raped them, just like the Juggalos. They're all the same kind of sick people. Well, they were all arrested and thrown in prison for lots of years. And, the remnants of that we're seeing now. They get out of prison and started up the Redneck Revolt. So when people tell you I'm a redneck, well, what they're telling you is I'm a gay communist. And I don't believe in Jesus. I don't like Jesus. In fact, I hate Christians. That is what redneck means for those of you who do not understand this. And that's a fact. You also got the red block diversity of tactics right here. They are all Antifa groups, folks. Antifa groups right here, bunches of them. You got Central Texas Antifa, which is separate but the same as the Texas Antifa. This is the Central Texas Antifa. I'll probably end up doing a list on a lot of the Antifa groups, and as you find one, just send me the name, and I'll just keep adding it to the list. Because in every big city, you're going to have at least one Antifa group, if not more. But this is who they are. Some of them don't even have their own website. They're just popping up on Facebook or Twitter and sprouting out this communistic crap. Here's another one, Antifa of Dallas. Believe it or not. And they always posting people's faces, like right here, trying to dox people. This is one guy's way of trying to tell the Antifa, hey, go after this person. See? Or this is who we're going after. This is what we're doing. This is an actual dox page right here. They want to attack people. See, go take the flags down, steal their flags. We don't like America. We want evil to rule. Here is when that reporter's being attacked. Right here, they're showing people how to organize and be little gangsters. Hey, you want to join a white gang? Be anti-fascist. We can say we're fighting racism when actually we're trying to create racism. And that's exactly what you're seeing. In fact, they do sucker sometimes good people. This is a good group of people here. Actually, it's not anti-fascist. See, she's wearing a USA flag. But what happens when they run into Antifa, it'll be a bunch of white boys trying to attack these people of all color. Because over here on the real anti-fascist side, the Christian conservative side, we're not racist. You cannot be a Christian and be racist. That just does not add up. Well, as soon as this one pops up, been dead for too long. Let me just refresh it here. Probably if I get rid of so many pages here, it might help. Oh, now it wants to act up. Ooh, boy, that's something right there, ain't it? That is something right there. It's always one of these pages that causes this more than anything. What I can do is go clear my cache out. That's probably what I need to do. Well, as soon as I get through my technical difficulties here, we will resume. My Google Chrome is not responding properly. It's crazy. Let me exit this video. I'll start up again in a minute. I'm going to clean out my computer or something. I don't know what's going on with it. But it's having a field day, I think. Wait a minute. It might be up. Okay. We're back in control. We're back in control. So you have Antifa's Austin Adventure. Also, it's another Antifa group. Ooh, hold on a minute. Let me switch my screen back around now that we got control of our technical issues, or a little technical difficulty. There we are. Let me go over here and clear up my cache and my browsing history. As soon as this clears, we'll be in good runnings. Until then, I mean, I'll just sit here and chit chat to you. You know, I got to clear my cache. I had like way too much up there in my cache. It's obviously slowing everything all up in the gum works. And there it goes. So that's cleared up. Okay, here we go. Uh-oh. There we are. So we get all these deals pop back up, we'll be in business here. I am going to pop all of them up. And there's one that I need to get rid of. InfoWars. That's probably the tab causing me to have a lot of computer feedback. Some of these websites, they try to dig too much out of your computer, which is why I unplugged my flash drive. It's only the pictures that were hooked up. And so I don't know why they're trying to dig into the PC, but sometimes you run across that ideology. It's like when I was on Facebook, they used to come in here and mess with my camera all the time. And I mean, literally, they'll watch you while you sleep. If they want to. Pretty scary, but you give them permission when you join Facebook. That's why I don't like Facebook. Now he's claiming we don't do stuff like that. We don't have any hidden agenda. Actually, you do have a hidden agenda. I can come out of that one. I'll come out of that one. And I think I'll leave that one up. All right, let's keep on. Let's keep on where we were at. So everybody can have a real good understanding who these groups are and what's going on. Okay, one more time. Here's Florida Antifa, just to give you an example. See, they're showing off. Oh, we got guns. We're tough. No, you're a wimp. If you got to use a gun, you're a wimp. Uh, and there they are. Aren't they a bunch of tough-looking guys? These are mafia wannabe guys. We're too lazy to work. We're too weak to be mechanics. So, I think we'll just turn America into a socialist country so we can just take what you got. We're too stupid to just come up with something to do on our own and make money. We inherited money and we're going to run out of that real soon. So we got to take America over so we can just take over all these candy factories and just own everything. That's pretty much their ideology. See, dictatorship of the swalletariat. That's what this group calls itself. I wonder if Tommy Hodges is in there somewhere. Yeah, I don't see him. Huh. You got pictures of everybody who works for ICE trying to dox all these people. You know what they're going to do is ICE might just turn around and go after them. There's a good guy right there. They're trying to say that ICE has concentration camps where they pin up all these children. Well, they're not concentration camps, and the photos you're looking at are not accurate. This is not where they're being held and kept. These are actually waiting zones. So these people are in transit from one location to another. And when it comes to the kids, they actually got it better than you do. The kids have really nice living quarters. Okay. Um, Much better than any high school you could walk into. They're really pampered, to be honest with you. And it's really sad to see that they actually treat illegal alien kids better than our own kids get treated in America. But that's how well they actually get treated. These right here, what you're actually looking at, are actual holding pens. These people don't spend every day in these pens like this. This is like where they, different stages of the deporting process where they're going to hold people. Kind of like being in jail. And but you don't see any beds in here, do you? No, because it's not where they're actually going to be staying. So they try to kind of change up the story a little bit just to make ISIL look bad. What they won't do is actually go into where these people are actually being held and take real videos and pictures. But this is Antifa right here. Mm-mm-mm. Feels like a drunk drug head, don't she? Golly. Oh, they beat up the girl for saying the N word. Well, that's good. So they're fighting against their own people. You know, nobody likes racists in America no more. We don't like them, and these people are claiming to be fighting against those people. But really, they're the ones that own the racist organizations. The KKK and all them are actually owned by these communist organizations. Your Bob Kevorkians of the world. Well, these people put a different twist on everything, don't they? Here's Orlando Antifa right here. Here they're having an art project. Oh, they're such good people. See what they're saying right here? The oppression of women, the dehumanizations of our LGBTQ. Well, it's not our fault that your gay people left the LGBT organizations, realizing that really it's just a communist plot to control the gay vote. And when it's all said and done, if you actually got your way with the gay people, you would end up executing all the gay people. That's what you did in Russia when it was the USSR. And, you know, that's just the way it is in all communist regimes. They always end up killing the gay people, unless it's, you know, Rome. Rome was ran by gays, right? They didn't care who, what, where, when. And in the end, they turned on themselves. So we know how that goes. So really, the only greatest nations that have ever been really ran is like your current day Christian Russia, your current day Christian America. Even the America of the past that was run by Christians was a much better country than what we've been looking at in recent times. When Christians rule, gay people actually have the rights, right? We overcame racism. We're doing all the good things in the world as a people together. But when these hateful people rule, well, all you gotta do is go walk down one of the major cities in California and you can see all the homelessness and you can see what happens when Christians don't rule. Here's Central Florida Antifa, probably started up by Tommy Hodges. And right here, they like to brag. See, we broke this guy's nose and he got blood all over his face. And then they accuse everybody of being racist. These people are all racist. Of course, you got to throw one in there that's actually convicted felon. So obviously, he belongs to a white gang in prison. And they got all their BS up here. These guys think they're so tough until they walk up against a guy who can fight and is ready to knock them out. If you notice, when Cruz was confronting them people, he wasn't even scared of them at all. Ted Cruz wasn't even scared of them punks, not one little bit. So here we have the "It's Going Down," which was actually started up by that professor dude with the bike lock that hit that guy over the head with the bike lock out in California. He's the guy that started up "It's Going Down." Confront and resist. We are the fascists. We call ourselves anti fascist. But they want you to confront and resist fascism. Well, if you're truly doing that, then you will actually be for Donald Trump and you'll be fighting against Antifa because Antifa are actually the fascists. That's a fact. Because to be a fascist, you have to be pro communist, you have to be pro totalitarian, you have to be pro Maoist empire, which is what they are founded off of. The same ideology. They want mass mobilization against the alt right in DC August 10th. Let me explain something to you fools. There was never a such thing as the alt right until Gavin McInnes came to the United States from Canada in 2016. He started up what they called the alt right in Canada, which was aimed at dividing the right. It just didn't work here because we're not stupid people like the people in Canada. Them people are so ignorant they didn't even know what was going on. But we do, right? So that's what they're trying to do. That's Gavin McInnes. He's trying to divide people on the right. That's why he acts like he does. He's an idiot. You know, the guy that stuck the dildo up his Wakista on live TV? That's the same guy I'm talking about. I actually have a video where I show him doing that. So those things are not hard to find. You can just Google that and you'll find it. Outside the United States, if you're living outside the U.S. and can take action at U.S. embassies, wow, borders or other symbols of colonial power, our allegiance is not to making America great again, but to all of humanity and the planet. Wrong, wrong, wrong. This is called globalism. These people's allegiance is to globalism. That's why we're seeing an attack on all the good countries at one time. They are trying to overtake all of our countries from within. And here you can see all the groups that are involved with all these Antifa people. Black Lives Matter, Charlottesville, Summer Resistance Welcome Committee. All these groups are Antifa groups, by the way. Crim Ethnic Ex Co-workers Collective. So these are people that might have had a job at McDonald's for 3 months and then got fired, I guess. They're ex-workers. Okay. Crushing colonialism. Huh. Well, that's kind of stupid. In fact, they're trying to colonize America. DC Anti Fascist Collective. The future is feminist. These are the women that try to tell you that if a woman just pops up and lies and says, "Oh, I think I was raped," that whoever she's pointing her finger at, that man should be thrown in prison. These people are idiots. The Holler Network, the Hoods for Justice, International Kilpatrick, and a lot of these groups only got like 4 or 5 people apiece. So some of them are big, some of them aren't. Most of them aren't. March for Racial Justice, Maryland Antifa, One People's Project, Philly Antifa, Resist This, former Disrupt J20, Rising the Tide or Rising Tide North America. I've actually heard of them before. Smash Racism DC, Showing Up for Racial Justice Charlottesville, Workers Against Racism, and 350 DC. So these are all the groups who support this anti-fascist cuck on It's Going Down. So all you gotta do is Google It's Going Down IGD, and you can. They got a lot of stuff posted too. All out. Prison strike. Autonomous disaster relief. And you can shop and buy their product because really at the end of the day they're just a bunch of people, you know, trying to make money off of anti-fascist movement. That's what it's really all about. Just like all of these people over here trying to get donations for what they do or sell you t-shirts and stupid crap like that. See there? They're doing the same thing on the left that these paid profiteers are doing on the right. So if they can keep up this fake rally thing that's going on, which is totally fake, and get and sucker in people on both sides to fight each other, they sit back, point fingers, and laugh at your ass. While people like this guy that runs this organization and Tommy Hodges, you go out and have a beer together and laugh at all your asses. That's what's really going on in America. But it's a shame because it's really in the big picture of what is bringing America down. Oh boy, it was a really stupid fight for the earth. Love Antifa, hate cops. What kind of stupid ass would buy some crap like that? So this is how they're funding their ill-gotten activities, and I guarantee you, this guy ain't sharing his money with nobody. There's Smash Racism DC, found on Twitter. You just look down there and see who's following them. Actually, some people follow people not because they're with them, but because they're keeping an eye on them. So you can't really just say, well, look, this guy got an American flag, but he's Antifa. You can't say that because you don't know. You don't know who that person is. You don't know why they're following them. But it is pretty cool to follow these people because look, tripped out libertarian sounds kind of familiar, don't it? Pissed off American, tripped out libertarian. Come buy my products. Like right now, the last 2 years is the most money Tommy Hodges has ever made in his life. And he's laughing at your asses. That's guaranteed. Your local trans girl. Oh, God. Oh, that's sick. We got a lot of people keeping up with them. And, obviously they got some people following them. A lot of sick people right here. That's who and what these people are. They're just little groups trying to make money off of both sides, and a lot of it is driven by their communistic beliefs. Here's the Me Too movement. Hillary fondled me in the woods. I want a hearing. That's funny. That's a good one there. I like that. See there? We believe Brett and Ashley Kavanaugh. So these people aren't trying to provocate, oh, just because she said he must be guilty. They're not doing that. They're actually with the understanding that these accusations actually hurt the credibility of women in a lot of ways. It makes it more difficult for them to be hired on a job, for example, because why would I hire a female for something when I could like hire a man and I ain't got to worry about any accusations. So it does backfire on women, and it backfires in a way that hurts us as a society. You see, and you just have to be a lot more careful about what women you hire. Let's face it, if you face a Democrat, well, a few years down the road, Don't be surprised when they come out and say, he brushed up against me at work one time and pushed his thingy like up, on my crack. Like I was like, oh, I didn't even know what to do. I thought he was gonna rape me. Like, oh my God. You'll start hearing things like that. The desks were so tight and close together. Like, oh my God. And it's like I tell people, you walk into any electoral office, it's just like an insurance company. You walk into there, and they'll either have one desk with one secretary and plenty of room to walk around the desk, or they'll have, like at the insurance companies, like most of them these days, you walk in and they got four desks, and then the boss, and usually only got one or two people working in there unless they're really busy. And the desks are so far apart, you can put like a whole bedroom. You can build a bedroom in between the desks. But we still hear stupid accusations like that. Like, oh, the desks were so close together, he just had to get through me. I didn't like it. I think he was sexually harassing me or groping me. You just hear stupid crap like that. But just remember, if you hire a Democrat or a liberal or one of these communist cucks, just don't say I didn't tell you so, because that's what you're going to be looking at in the future. Hey, you're better off hiring a gay woman. You know, you are, as long as she's a good person. But you go hire one of them damn Democrats, you're gonna be a world's hurt, especially if you try to run for political office. And you ain't even got to run for political office. If they just want to come out against you, it's gonna come your way. It's guaranteed. There's a couple other things I wanted to look up concerning anti-fascism. It's not just these people who want to turn America communist that are behind all of Antifa. It's simply not just those party or those people. So let me show you something else. Another way you can find out who these people are and what groups that they do, who's funding what. Now up here, I go to my Bing search and search up Care Funded Women's March. Women's March partners with several Islamic groups. This is the gatewaypundit.com. The anti-Semite who organized the Women's March was the Palestine American activist Linda Sassour. This woman is behind every single women's march in the United States against Donald Trump. The Women's March on Washington was partnered with Hamas linked CARE. CARE actually funded and helped to organize that march. Everything they fund, George Soros seems to be also helping out with, right? So you can actually look through a lot of these and you can just read all about it. If there's any woman's march that's going on anywhere, you can actually Google it and you'll find out that CARE is actually behind it, either financing and organizing it. See there? They're going after the women. Let's go fund these women because they're stupid and they don't know who or what we are. And then we can just turn them towards being activists against Donald Trump. We'll just turn them on Trump, get them really mad because these people are stupid. You got to be stupid to take money from CARE. Now they got a group called LGBTQIA. Oh boy. And Trump never has ever tried to demonize anything having to do with gay people. He only goes after the anti-American groups and people. So in turn, now we got something else to go look up, right? See, just by reading one article, it can link you to another one, and then another one, and another one. But I want to see what this means. The term and definitions below are always involve changing the meaning. Resource Center since early 2000. Huh. I've never heard this term. Has anybody ever heard this term? Here's the safe sex guide. Oh boy. Okay, here's what it means right here. It stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, intersex, and asexual. God, why don't you just word it, man? I mean, oh, this is funny stuff. But you can find all of these marches. Like, for example, watch this. Uh, Rosie O'Donnell. Now, what we'll do is we'll just start right here at Rosie O'Donnell, and we go to Wikipedia, and we got her Wikipedia popped up. That's the first thing you want to do. Second thing is you want to go, and now we want to look up the march she had. And now we're going to look up and see, wow, was it funded by CARE or not? And I know it's out there, so I have to look it up a different way. Let's put CARE in there like this. Council on American Islamic Relations. Here's CARE in the Clarion Project. That's always something really good to look into right there. Y'all should read up about this Clarion Project. But now her deal's not popping up, right? Oh boy, I found this mother video, so I don't know why it's not coming up now. But they did fund her little march out there in Washington D.C. or at the White House. I mean, hmm. So I don't know why Rosie Donald's name isn't coming up. This is getting a little ridiculous. Here, this might have something on it. Ooh, there's that ugly. Ooh, God, no wonder she's Antifa. Cause that's a big ball of ain't. Ain't gonna get nobody. You too ugly. In fact, I'm having a hard time reading this because I know that ugly face is looking at me. I gotta be honest. Ooh, she had a staph infection in after she cut her middle finger. She is, so she's nasty. She don't even clean herself. And of course, she's a prominent of gay marriage. She's all about it. All this section right here is uh, about her being pro-gay and pro-abortion and everything that's anti-American. Oh, here's her charitable work. Oh, she's such a good person. There's another evil person right there. People just now finding out about Oprah Winfrey. She ain't never, ever gonna be president. I guarantee you that. Got way too many ghosts in her closet. But that's her Wikipedia. What's this? I don't know what a pop. Oh, that was supposed to have the article, but it didn't turn out to be a sucker come buy my stuff site. Let's do this. I know how to find it. Rosie O'Donnell, like that, and then go here. Dun 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 dun. Da 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 da. Oh, we're gonna find it. I'm hard headed. Well, I'm not finding it. That's really weird. Here she is caught with illegal campaign contributions. Hey, they should put her in jail. They put DeSalza in jail for doing it one time, and it was just a little bit of money. But here they say she did it 5 times. That's incredible. They said she was actually expressing an intent to commit bribery. Hence the lack of charges against her. But had she followed through with the promise, she'd likely find herself in prison right now. So interesting. So it's people like her that are heavily funding the left. See all that money, the $30,000 fine she received here. Uh, Look at that. Democrat donor who has already given $90,000. Talking about Rosie O'Donnell. In donations during 2017-2018 cycle would be unaware of federal donation limits. She knows the limits. She's just intentionally breaking them. I don't know why this ain't coming up no more. Well, all of her stuff had been funded by CARE. I'll just leave it at that. I'll accidentally find this like later on. Might be tomorrow, or the next day, or it might be like 5 minutes after I end the video. I'll end up finding it, and I'll be like, you know. But I've looked it up in the past. I've got it on other videos if y'all want to see the link there. But she cares behind all of these organizations, all these women marches. Actually gives money to a lot of the Antifa groups too. But like you saw me googling and looking stuff up, you just have to Google it till you hit the right words in there, and you find the post. It's just like anything; you just got to search for it until you find it. Um, Sometimes that can take a while, and sometimes you get it the first try. Mm. I was gonna have a couple people on today, but uh, I was busy doing some things today, and I didn't kick off to about 2, maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock, somewhere in there. And I guess it's too late for them, so they didn't pop on. So my show kind of changed today. I just want to show people that all of these groups, no matter what their name is, they're not all called Antifa. Some of them have different names, but an Antifa group is an Antifa group. It don't matter what their name is or what they're actually called. And so when you ask yourself, well, is Rosie O'Donnell Antifa? Yeah, she's pretty much Antifa. Um, because she fits along the lines of all of that. She's one of those people that thinks that we ought to live how she tells us to live and not how we choose to live. She's one of those people that, well, if the people decide to put a law against something, she feels like that it don't apply to her because she doesn't agree with the law. Henceforth, she makes illegal donations and gets away with it. Um, Really, if I was Trump, I'd put some prosecutors in there and just make an announcement that we're going to start prosecuting everybody who makes illegal donations and make it happen. That way it's fair across the board. We'll see a whole bunch of Democrats going to prison. That's what they ought to do. Let's see. Before I open a new can up. That's a new can. Yeah, that's a new can. Before I chunk cans in the trash. Oh, there's a lot of dip in that one. I didn't even know I had that much dip in that one. Well, what I'm going to do is what I call a snuff transfer. I got to check all my cans and make sure I got all the dip out of them, because otherwise you're wasting a lot of snuff. And that's what you see me doing right now. I'm actually putting all my snuff into one can. I don't think there's nothing there to worry about. Yeah. Yep, all of them got to go to the trash. I done saved up enough. I got a few projects I'm going to do with my empty cans, so I've been saving them. You can make wind chimes out of these, but I'm going to tell you, if you actually put it in the wind, it's going to be very loud and very, very obnoxious. Best thing to do if you're going to use a wind chime for anything, wind chimes are really meant to simply discourage animals and people from coming around your property. But you don't want to hear the noise. So what you want to do is you want to make the wind chime in such a way that when you come home, you can simply make it quiet. And you do that by, you can put a string up and move it. Like if this was some wind chimes, right? You can put it up like against the wall, and these things will run together when the wind starts blowing. They'll just run sideways instead of kicking around too much because it's up against the wall. When you come home, you just remove it and put it in the house. See? So if you live out somewhere where you want to keep animals away from your property, like, I don't know, a fox or a wolf or something like that, then you want to make a pair of wind chimes out of snuff cans. But I'm telling you now, it's a very obnoxious sound, man. Whew. I made it set one time and I just took it down. It was just too annoying. Mmm. That'd be a really good idea to show up at one of these rallies in a car that you take the body off of the car and just make a complete cage. Or actually build a cage around the car, or at least where all the glasses and stuff, so people can't throw anything inside or can't get to you. And then you just kind of slowly ride down the road playing good old fashioned American songs. Like God bless America, songs like that. And just ride through Antifa, like just real slow, just keep going, just put it in low gear and just let it go. If they don't get out the way, that's their problem. But they would definitely be attacking your vehicle, wouldn't it? That'd be funny as hell. Just get some really super loud speakers. You know what I mean? And just turn them on and let it rip, man. Sound like a good idea. I'll tell you what, man. That'd really piss them off, wouldn't it? Hell yeah. I don't know what to think about these Antifa people, but they really think that they can turn people against Christians. And probably because they've gotten away with it over in Africa. It's not really working out too good in Europe and over here in America because we don't really have a problem with gangs or terrorist organizations. I mean, they're here, but if they start going around killing people, then the government's like literally going to go after them, right? And they don't want to face our military or our police like that. So that's why we're not having a problem in America. Um, but there again, that's why Antifa is going after ICE. That's why Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez come out and said we need to abolish ICE. What's a radical statement? And everybody's like, what? Well, don't you realize that she is part of Antifa? She's part of the Muslim movement also. They're all interconnected in America because they're all the enemy of good American people and the American, all of us Americans. So if they simply are against everything that America stands for, of course they want to say things like, we need to abolish ICE. I mean, what's next? Let's start abolishing the police department? Or maybe in California, they'll just, like they did in California, they'll just hire gangsters to actually be the cops. See, that's what's going on in San Diego right now. Like La Raza. See, La Raza is a gang of people who, like other gangs, go around bribing elected officials. And the ones they can't bribe, they threaten them. They'll threaten to kill them. And in some cases, they have killed people, even politicians, sheriffs, chief of police. Um, and they literally go after people like in real life. La Raza got a little smarter, though, than those other gangs that have done those things in the past. What they do is they simply bribe officials with so much money they can't turn it down. And once they take a bribe, then they kind of own them, right? And that's how La Raza snuck in. But La Raza is a gang that will kill people. So that's something else to keep in mind. And now, who makes up the police force in San Diego? Well, they got a lot of people on the police force that is, in fact, La Raza. It should be illegal because you should not be allowed to belong to a gang or any political active organization as a police officer. In fact, it's against the Constitution. Um, but California is allowing it to go on. Why? Because they have so many bribed elected officials in California. So the only way you're going to overcome that is if you actually vote for the one good person that might be running in a particular election. You got to find the people that wants to go after these gangs, that want to go after La Raza, because La Raza is nothing but a drug funneling gang. That's all they are. They're a gang of Hispanic people that want to take over a good region of America and hand it back over to Mexico, but they don't want to be part of Mexico either. And here's the catch. They actually want to take over part of America and northern Mexico because they believe that their descendants are from the old Indians that once roamed that area, which in fact they never had control over the whole area. The Aztecs, for example. So, because they think that their Aztec ancestors owned all of these regions, which there's a lot of different Indian bands and tribes that control different areas of that region. So they want to return all of that country back into Aztec. That's who this group of Hispanics are. They don't want it to be Mexico and they don't want it to be America. That's their ideology. Well, it's also funny and ironic because the agenda of the Aztec, or the makeup of the Aztec Empire was a totalitarian system. Um, when the Spaniards wanted to finally defeat the Aztec people, they simply asked the local Indians and the Hispanic people, or Mexican people at the time, about how they were set up. And one of the Mexicans popped up and told that one dude, Cortez or whatever his name was, they told him that, I just remember the story, that if he killed the leader and if he hasn't appointed a successor, then the whole empire will be broke up automatically because only one person, in fact, rules the Aztecs. So if the Aztecs, they couldn't attack somebody without the approval of the leader. In fact, you could back then you could walk through and just start killing them, shooting them, and they wouldn't even fight you. They would actually, if anything, back away and keep retreating until the leader showed up and then told them to attack because they were in full totalitarian rule by one leader. That's the same agenda that these so-called communists and Antifa have in mind. They want a totalitarian system in America. And they want to do it by way of communism. Actually, they want to skip communism. They want to go turn America into a socialist nation. And then when they have power, their people in office, instead of voting to go communist, they'll just go totalitarian. But instead of one person ruling it, it'll be the government appointed officials. Your governors will be your sole leader in your state, for example. So they're going to have a leader in every state and one big leader, a pyramid scheme. But that's a type of totalitarian type system. And you don't get to vote for your leaders or any of that. That's out. In fact, you have no rights. In fact, it's just like Aztec Empire, only you would have other smaller rulers underneath the so-called president. And a president can't be a president unless you vote them into office. Otherwise, they're not a president. They would then be a king and a dictator. And so they have the same ideology. La Raza, with the Aztec ideology of totalitarian type government, because that's how the Aztecs were beaten. All they did was kill the leader. They shot him with one good shot, picked him off, shot him in the head. He's dead. So the people just stood there, and then they just went through shooting all the people that they wanted until they just got tired of shooting them. And so then the empire broke up into little small bands of people, little tribes and whatnot, and it was over. That was the end of the Aztec empire. And so it's really ignorant to want to build that empire back up. It just doesn't make any sense. But that's the ideology of the La Raza. Then people are so stupid they don't even realize that if they were able to actually do that, that they would not be a leader in that country, that they would actually be a peon, that if the leader looked at you and maybe went like this, well, they just take you out and cut your head off because he's the leader. See, that's how stupid these people are. They're just full of all kinds of stupid. La Raza is among the most ignorant people on the face of the earth. And that's how ignorant these Antifa bands and groups are. They're just ignorant as hell. And people don't realize where are all these people coming from? Who are all these organizations? What's their ideology? Well, I'm telling you what their ideologies are. And you can go look it up yourself and prove me wrong, but you can't because I already know. It's because I've already done the reading. So, but what you have to do is understand why these groups are working together the way they are. It's for the common cause of bringing down America. And we are not going to let that happen, right? And we can beat it out through voting. And if you have to, physically making a stand against these punks. But that doesn't mean that we need to go out and have rallies or counter rallies and all that BS. All of that is nothing but a joke. Because they're on the left, they're selling products just like these paid profiteers are over here selling T-shirts and stupid little plaques and signs and stupid little hats, you know. I mean, why would I go out and buy a shirt as a patriot? Why would I want to go out and buy a shirt that says "Pissed Off American" on it with Tommy Hodges' ugly face on it when I could go out and buy an American flag shirt? And in fact, I can go to Walmart and probably buy one for $5. So why do I want to spend $60 or even just $40 buying one of this idiot shirts over here when I can go buy an American flag shirt? See, the ideology is just not there. It's just not there. It's not working. And if these people continue to go to these rallies, you're just going to continue to be fooled by these paid profiteers. Now, if somebody does come up to throw a good event, I encourage you to go. And there are some of those events going on in America, but you need to search them and find out who they are and what their event's about and what it's for. Okay? It's very important because you do have a lot of gun rights people that do hold rallies within their area. It might be in your area. It's just a local thing. And you're not going to have a counter protest to that because they're not paid profiteers. So obviously, they're not going to have a protest against them. See where I'm coming from? The only time you have protest and counter protest these days is when it's organized on both sides by somebody like CARE. Well, then you're going to have these paid profiteers show up calling themselves patriots, but they didn't even vote for Trump, like, oh, I don't know, Outlaw Morgan. But people like him, and you still see it going on in California. and they will show up and they'll be fighting each other, right? And that's what's going on, man. That's all it is. People want you to buy their shirts and donate money to them because they're too lazy to have a real job or go get a real job. But really, they're just hurting the American agenda, which is to save America. Our first step was to elect Donald Trump. And right now, we're busy voting out as many Democrats as we can. The only Democrat that I do not want to see voted out of office at this point in time is the guy that in North Carolina, there's a guy running as a Republican because he ran unopposed, is Boykin. Boykin is a guy who has over 10,000 gay videos out there on like Pornhub and all them kind of places, I guess. And he was in Angie Peterson and their little gay gang that was running around pretending to be patriots, but attacking everybody by reporting all their stuff online and then laughing at you. And then he was a part of that group which started up these fake rallies. They even suckered in a few bisexual women over there that were actually patriots. And they got mad and they ended up having an internal fight within. And Angie Pearson just up and ran off with $10,000 both times for a total of $20,000. Well, Boykin helped her do that. He still stood behind Angie Peterson and was backing her. I wonder if she gave him any money to help him run for election. It makes you wonder, because she blew that money quick, didn't she? And but that's what they want to do. They want you to give them money so they can fund people running that's on the left. See, Peter Boykin is a communist. That's what he is. He's one of the anti fascists. He's not a patriot, but he ran as a Republican and he pretended to be a patriot because he thought he was going to get some of that money from Angie Peterson. And in fact, he may have gotten some money from her to run for office. Who knows? But one thing's for sure, he's not a conservative. He's not for Donald Trump. He doesn't believe in anything a conservative believes in. It's not even possible. So I don't want to see him get voted into office because he would be worse than the Democrat they got in office now. At least we can see that that guy's a Democrat, and in 2 years we can vote his ass out of office. See, right along with voting for Donald Trump into office again. So y'all don't have to worry about just voting out every single Democrat. Okay, if anybody out there wants to help me with a voters list, go to Trumpsters and Conservatives, hit my blog. You see my voters list for Texas, and start working on your list. Okay, and send me the names, and I'll make it a part of my voters list up there. And all you got to do when you're on social media is, like every week or so or once a month, post the list to your social site. It's free, man. You can't beat that. So now people can look at this list and go, who put out this list? Well, we just came together under Christian or Trumpsters and Conservatives. Trumpsandconservatives.com organized us to come together and make a conservative voting list. In fact, that's what it is. It's a conservative voting list. So that means, yes, I'll have to go down and double check the names real quick just to make sure everything's cool. And we're not voting in some guy just because he ran as a Republican. Like Peter Boykin, you don't want that guy in office. You don't have to vote every single Democrat out of office right now. We just vote the majority, like 98% of them out of office. And then when the next elections come up, the next time their seat comes up for election, then we can go out and find good people to run against them, because in a lot of cases they're running unopposed. There's not a Republican running in their district. So all we got to do is go out and find some good people to run for office and then back them. We can get them donations. We can make it happen, man. We can make it happen. Okay, so be wise in who you vote for. Don't be ignorant about it. Not everybody running right now on a Republican ticket are good people. Well, Judge Roy Moore was running for office. He was the only one that they should have voted into office. Um, but they ended up voting a Democrat into office. But did you know that on the Republican side, every other single Republican that was running was being financed by either Sunlight or CARE or another Muslim organization? That's a fact. Now, one of them was being funded by, it wasn't Sunlight, it was that other, they got another Democratic slush fund. I forget what it's called off my head. I think it's Worldwide Democrat Push or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, if you look up and you see who's financing these people, sometimes there's a little dead giveaway there, and sometimes you can't find it. But you gotta look up who these people are, what they belong to. Some of these women belong to some of these women's rights advocate groups. And those groups are anti-American in themselves because they're too left-wing feminist. Okay, so it's just very important that we know who we're voting for. And so when we make a Christian voters list, uh, it's not going to be 100%. You can't do 100%. We're probably going to make a mistake here and there, but that's okay because it's not going to be very many. But we got to do our best to make sure that we put the people on this list who are the right person for that office. And by doing that, we're going to get it like very accurate, very, very, very accurate. And speaking of that, I'm probably going to go work on that list a little bit later on today. But I got a little work around here to do, like a load of laundry and your basic house chores that most people do, unless you're a pampered snowflake. All right, I'll holler at everybody next time. So if anybody wants to get involved with the voters list, I might just pop up later on, and I might even title the video "Conservative Voting List." And we can try to get people in here from our social sites who are interested in helping with that. Well, in any way. I mean, first of all, we got to make the list, and then obviously people will be turned on by it because they'll research it and see that it's dead accurate, and they'll love it. So what they'll do is they'll help share the link to my blog where all that information is at. So now they're getting the better of both worlds because now you also got other information posts that are on my blog. So, like, if y'all have any information blogs, let me know. I'll put a link to your blog. Or if you got some lists that I don't have up there on my website, and you don't have a blog, then you can just send that information to me in an email, and then I'll simply I'll make it into a blog and I'll post that information. Okay, that's the way we're going to win this battle, through information and sharing. And I believe that by voting the right way, and for the first time having a conservative voting list, that we can take back America with no problem. These other organizations, they have lists. They've been had lists since the 70s, actually, but they really started up big time in the 80s when the internet came about. There's a lot of LGBTs, for example, that have a whole list of names of people they try to get voted into office all the time. And ask anybody that's ever been in an LGBT organization of any kind, and they'll tell you, yeah, in fact, that is a fact, because it is. You can Google it. It's easy to find. That information's easy to find. These special women's rights groups, they have lists. All your communist groups, they have a list of names of people who they want voted into office. CARE is another organization. They have a list of all these Muslims that they're trying to get voted into office, or Muslim backing people. And they make a lot of political donations. What's up, Harry? I tried to call you. And the same thing with Sunlight. They're constantly trying to get these anti-American people voted into office, and they back them financially. They have a list like for every state, for every city, and we don't have a list. There's not a conservative voting list out there, like anywhere. And no one person can do it. So I'm going to need help with this thing. So if y'all get online and see how I kind of got it started, if you can make one up along those lines with the same kind of similar formatting, I can put the formatting into it and then put it up there. but it'll be listed per state, and each state, of course, alphabetically ordered. That's what I think. It's the best way to do it. So I got to go work on those lists and voting lists more and more and more every chance I get. But if you people can pop up and help out, it'd be highly appreciated. Oh, well, call me because I tried to call you like a couple times and nothing. I didn't even get a ring. Maybe your phone's off or something. I don't know. Here, I'll try to call you again.
Call ended.
That's what it does. It just goes call ended. Nothing. That's weird. I could call anybody else, but I can't call you. So I don't know because I tried it. I thought, well, maybe there's a problem on my end. Oh, now you call. Okay, I got it now. There it is. There you are. Yeah, that was weird. Yeah. I will figure it out. I was just kind of showing different anti-fascist groups that kind of alerting people that there's a lot of them out there, and they're all little individual, tiny little groups. Actually, they're. Oh, hold on. Put you on speaker for this one.
Oh, all right. Couple years back, and the anti-fascist movement bragged about they were going to go to Gettysburg and they were going to go up there and knock down monuments and tombstones and all that stuff. And then a group of bikers got together and decided that they were going to have a rally in Gettysburg the same weekend. Guess who didn't show up?
Antifa.
Antifa didn't show up, and then they started posting on it. Well, we never said we were going to be there. Bull crap, you didn't. So yeah, that put them on. It was like, okay, yeah, we know how this works now.
Well, what you're looking at is not all of them are well organized, but a lot of them are. You notice it when they do hold some kind of rally or march, and a lot of them do show up. And the way that they're organized is Refuse Fascism is like a central hub. So for all those other small groups, and these small groups, like I was showing you that other site a minute ago, that now it's on or whatever like that, whatever it's called, started up by that professor who hit the guy in the head with a bike lock. Well, he's got his little anti-fascist group, and yeah, he sells T-shirts and all that crap, just like Tommy Hodges, but he does it for the left. And now it's on, I think is what that's called, or something like that. But anyway, so I showed it in this video, so you can always go back and rewind and go look it up. And what happened is groups like his, now he reaches out to other organizations, because if you scroll down his page, there's other organizations listed that are united with him through Now It's On or whatever it's called. And so what you're looking at is some of them are organized, like him. He's united. He can go out and reach out to the BLM. Actually, I think there's two separate organizations listed on there with the BLM. So he can reach out to the BLM. He can reach out to, there's like a whole bunch of other anti-fascist groups that were listed there that he can reach out to for them to get together and do a particular event. But you're right. A lot of these groups,
only if it's safe for them.
Yeah, pretty much. Depends on how many numbers they get to show up too. But most of your groups, like I'm telling people that are anti-fascist, They're anti-fascist wannabes. They got like 5 people in their group, and they're not with any other anti-fascist group. So they have a communication problem where they can't get other Antifa to show up because they're not united with other Antifa people. So they are unorganized. But those same people at the same time, they might occasionally show up at somebody else's Antifa rally. See, because they have learned about an event going on somewhere through Refuse Fascism or one of these other anti-fascist groups. You know, they're trying to get big here in Texas. They got a chapter in Austin, Houston, Dallas, and all the big cities here in Texas now. So what their objective with that is that if there's a big rally somewhere, they can all jump to that city together. They can travel together and they go to these rallies together. That's what
Yeah,
their
that's why they
objective is.
showed up. That's why they showed up at that Austin rally, like they said they were going to, when they realized that there were going to be a whole bunch of guys with their pickup trucks and the whole bit. I heard about that in Austin. Antifa didn't show up, and the other guys did. I forgot what group. I can't remember the name of the group it was, but they showed up for a peaceful rally, and they had their peaceful rally because Antifa never showed.
That was one time, but if you remember the last time the highwaymen were there, there was only like 8 highwaymen that showed up, and there was like over 150 Antifa there because everybody just simply quit going to those stupid rallies. And and they had to be surrounded by police. If the highwaymen weren't surrounded by cops, like literally surrounded, they would have got a beat down, like really bad. They probably would have been killed. So it works both ways.
Right.
But then there's a lot of different groups that associate with them. Like you might have your little cook racist group, like they got one of those in Austin. I forget what they're called, the Red something or another. And
yeah,
they got a lot of different groups that help them out. I mean, they're not all just straight up Antifa, and some of them are Antifa, but they go by different names. So, but yeah.
Well, I can't hang on the phone too long, Bob. I got to go and fix dinner tonight.
Well, you better get that dinner ready.
Yeah, it's not going to be a big one. It's pretty easy fix, so it won't take me too long. But I just figured I'd call and see what you were doing. I saw you were live, so
yeah,
I figured I'd do the howdy hello thing.
Well, maybe we can hook up tomorrow with our live feed, like we were going to do
All right,
today.
that sounds yeah, we can do that, man. That sounds good.
Try to hook up with you tomorrow about like, I don't know, 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Be good for me.
Yeah, that'd be good for me too, man.
All right, then. I'll holler at you tomorrow, Harry. Thanks for calling in.
All right, we'll talk to you later, Bob.
Always good
Bye-bye.
to have input.
Call ended.
Well, that was Mr. Harry Brogan, a true patriot who believes in America, American people. So anyway, he's right. I mean, a lot of these groups they're not organized. They're just not. They're they're little small, little band wannabe groups. So when you're tromping through looking at all these groups, just keep in mind most of these groups only got 5 people in their group. It's kind of like the highwaymen. Oh, they're supposed to be so big and bad. Well, really, they only got like 8 members. And some of their members actually have tried to go up and start their own money profiteering group. See? But it's not working out for them because everybody quit going to those stupid rallies. Because all those rallies are going to do is get you arrested, thrown in jail, get a charge put on you. And then in the end, that's one less vote for Donald Trump sometimes if it's a bad charge. Or it might not get you no charge. It might just get you thumped on the head with a baseball bat. Then you're laying up in the hospital for a few months or whatever, right? Put you out of work. And there's no real objective behind these rallies. They're just stupid. If you want to save a statue, you don't hold a rally when they're going to take the statue down because it's too late. You hold a rally when they put it up on the ballot to be voted on, and then you call awareness to the fact that, hey, look at what the city council's trying to do, so you can get a lot of people to call in a phone and call these people and ram them with about 10 million phone calls in hopes that they don't vote to take a statue down. And then if they do, the other way you take care of the problem is by getting involved with voting. See, if you vote all them people out of that city council that voted to take down statues, and you get good people voted into office, good Christian conservative people, well, then you're not, the problem has disappeared. You have defeated them and you have won the day. You have helped make America great again. And we got to get involved with voting, not rallies. Rallies like the stupidest thing on earth, man. They really are. And there's no need for a rally of any kind for any reason. But there is a very big need to get people involved with knowing who to vote for. If we ever get a full voters list going every day for Christian conservative people, then guess what? We're going to win the day. It's as simple as that. And they can't stop it because we outnumber every other little individual special interest group in America. And that's a fact. We're the ones that aren't organized because, look, there are no voting lists out there for our people. Instead, people are all caught up in watching these paid profiteers do their jaw jacking, right? And sometimes that might be okay, but really it's distracting you from getting involved with creating your voters list and helping us out to get a conservative voters list up there on a single spot where people can just, share that one link all over the internet, and just people automatically, they can double check it and say, yeah, I like this list. And now our people know who to vote for. Even the guy that works 18 hours a day, he might get half a day off for a couple of hours to go vote. Well, all he's got to do is print off that little copy for his state right there, right, of who he's going to vote for, and then go down there and vote. See, this is how we take back America, folks. You got to get involved with the local voting too, like who's running for the school board, who's running for city council, who's running for the county seat, who wants to be the county commissioner, who's running for your railroad department office. These are the things that are the number one most important thing that we can do in America in order to make America great again. You don't do it with violence. The violence doesn't get you anywhere. It gets people hating you. That's what violence does. It can get you thrown in jail or hurt. So what good does violence do? What good do these rallies do? We got to show up and battle Antifa. Da, 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 da. Let me fill you in on a little secret. Antifa is fake. Let me repeat that. Antifa is fake. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm saying they're fake. Because Antifa cannot do anything. They can't do nothing. All they can do is show up at a stupid rally and wave flags that say, abolish ICE or we hate the police. That's going to get you somewhere in life, right? I mean, they're powerless. They don't have any power unless you show up to counter protest them. Now they're smiling because they did something. They got you up out of your house, and instead of looking up who to vote for, you're over there at some stupid rally. Then they can point fingers to you and say, look, he's a racist, he's a homophobe, or whatever. It's just stupid, man. At the end of the day, the stupidest thing you can do is go to these stupid rallies. Let me ask you this. What's going to win back California? Some stupid rally or people actually knowing who to vote for? I'll let you figure that one out. So the rallies are stupid. These people that go to the rallies are even more stupid because they got duped and suckered by these freaking idiots who at the end of the day just want to sell you a fucking t-shirt or a cap or something stupid like that. It don't make any sense. See this USA flag? Well, it's not really a flag, but the USA shirt I got, $5 at Walmart. All of my shirts cost like $5, $10. In fact, it's the only kind of shirts I buy nowadays. I don't buy any other kind of shirts really too much. I just buy American patriotic type stuff. Now, why do I want to go? If I was, excuse me, if I was over there on the left, I was a Democrat, God forbid. Why would I want to go to some guy's website and buy a shirt that says F the police? Well, I can tell you right here in Texas, that'll get you in jail. It's illegal to wear a shirt with a cuss word on it. Believe it or not, you can't do it. Actually, if a cop wants to arrest you in Texas, he can arrest you for cussing unless you're explaining to him what somebody else was saying. And they were cussing and you got to repeat the cussing. Well, then that's different because you're not cussing. You're simply explaining to them what was said. There is a difference. Now, if you go into an establishment and you're steadily cussing and the police show up and ask you to quit cussing and you keep cussing, they could actually arrest you for cussing. It's a misdemeanor, but it's against the law. So I wouldn't do it if I was here in Texas. But let's say I lived in California and I'm a Democrat and I want to go buy a shirt that said F the police or Anti Fascist lives here or whatever. You know, they got shirts like that. They're stupid. And why would I want to go spend the $80 to buy a shirt from them or $60 or whatever they're selling the shirts for? It might only be $40 in some cases, but you see my point here? Hell, I can go to Walmart. They sell anti-fascism shirts for $10. But that's how stupid people are. They buy the shirts thinking they're doing something, and they're not doing a damn thing but making somebody rich or wealthy. Why would I? You honestly think I'm going to go buy a Tommy Hodges shirt or Outlaw Morgan shirt with their ugly mug on there, with them pointing a finger and saying something like, you know, I don't know, you know, might be Islamic wording, saying something like F Muslim or Islam or something like that with them pointing a finger. Yeah, I mean, big deal. I don't want to tell every single Muslim in the world that I don't like you. I just don't like the faith of the Muslim faith. The Islamic faith is a cult, and it's an evil faith. You know, those people need to come over here and become Christians. But yeah, I don't believe in genocide against all Muslims, for example. So why would I want to buy a shirt like that? That's pretty stupid. Now I just went over there and paid like $50 for this idiot shirt when I could go to Walmart and for $10 sometimes I could buy 2 American flag shirts or American pro USA patriotic type shirts. Or for even if they're $10, I could get two shirts for $20. Now by the time I get up to $40, you know, that's 4 shirts at least. Might be 6 or 8 shirts, depending on how much they are. You see my point? All of these people, these paid profiteers, are just got a bunch of suckers up under their belt, man. And really, supporting them people doesn't do anything for America. See, going to these rallies doesn't do anything positive for you, for me, or for any American. But getting involved voting and buying real American patriotic shirts does. Because when I walk in the shirt, I got an American flag hat on, like one of these back here, something like this. See, bought this at Walmart too. And I'm wearing a patriotic shirt. I don't always, sometimes I wear regular shirts, but you know, or I might even do something like this, right? I might go to the movies where sometimes I forget to take these glasses off because they're so freaking awesome, man. When I'm in there watching the movie, I just forget I got them on. But they're still good, blocks out the sun rays real good. So here's the thing. If I'm wearing this when I go up to the store or I go see a movie or whatever I'm doing, people look at me and they're like, oh, all right, yeah, I like that. Guy's a patriot. He's a patriotic kind of guy. That's like when you put the flag outside your house. People drive by, they got a lot of them around here. And they'll look up and go, hey, right on, man, I like that flag. See, but if you post something out there like that says F Islam or whatever, or that kind of crap, or abolish ICE, well, you might just get a rock thrown through your windshield, so to speak, because it's very negative. And at a very minimum, when you leave your house, the cops are going to be eyeballing your ass. Because again, the good conservative people outnumber them. So they just don't stand a chance if we get involved in voting. Now, if you vote the wrong people into office, then you got evil people running your city. You got evil people running your county. You got evil people running your state. And we've seen what that looks like on a federal level already. And we've seen the difference. Right now, we're seeing the difference because now we got a good person in office, Donald Trump. Our economy is better than it's ever been. It's going to take time to make it all happen. People always want to say, well, what about this? What about that? Just the other day, I was talking to my landlord about it. He says his paycheck went up $50 from this time last year. Okay, it don't seem like a lot. It's only $50. But he's worried about the high cost of all these products as a result of this war that we're having over the economy. But there are a couple of other factors involved. Number one, our paychecks are going to start going up. See, eventually, if the government has to and the companies themselves don't raise people's paychecks, like, instead of starting them at $10 an hour, if they don't raise it to 13 when needed or 15, well, the government could come in and raise minimum wage. They might do it slowly or whatever, but people in the end are going to end up making more money. So that's number one, and it'll be easier to afford the more expensive products because here's the thing. There's so many companies moving back to America that they're going to have to compete for the worker, which means the pay is automatically going to go up even further. And as that happens, you're going to see that it's a lot easier to then afford the products. And eventually, China will give up because if they keep raising tariffs and we keep raising tariffs to the point where their companies cannot sell or compete with our companies over here, they'll surrender, man, like real quick. They have to. They cannot win a trade war with the United States. It's not even possible for China to do that. And the number one reason is that we not only have the number one best economy, but we have the best economy by far over any country in the world. Russia can't touch us. China can't touch us. So when it comes to a trade war, what country do these big corporations really want to sell their product in the most? America. Now, how can you really get super rich if you own a corporation? If you don't let people like Donald Trump get voted into office. Because just like Mark Cuban owns the Dallas Mavericks, every company that he owns, there's not a single one in the United States. They're all outside the United States, importing into the United States using child labor or cheap labor. Why pay an American $15 an hour to do a job when you can go to a country like Taiwan and hire somebody for like literally, $10 a day or $15 a day, or in some cases $50 a day. Well, $50 is a whole lot better than paying somebody in America even $80 or $100 a day to work, right? Or $150. So now you're saving a lot of money. Plus, in these other countries, you might not have to provide health care or dental. They might not have any regulations or standards over in those countries. You might not, when you lift somebody up in like up on a forklift, they might not have to be in a cage that's safe. You just lift them up if they fall off and break their legs. Whoops. Okay, carry them outside, bring in a new worker. I mean, think about it. That's really what's going on in America. It's all about money. It's all about greed. But now that somebody like Donald Trump's in office, he's changed the ball game. You want to do business here, you're going to be better off moving a company here, a part of your company, production, or moving your whole company here. That's why companies are literally stumbling over their feet to come back into America or to come to America because of the tariff trade wars that's going on now. And that's exactly what's going on. And there's no part of this where China wins, because if I own a company and I got my choice and I have to make a choice, China or USA, screw China's economy. I'm going to the USA and then opening up business. See, if I have to choose between the two. That's just a prime example. So there's no part of this that China wins. They don't even have a chance. And how do we do that? By voting. We didn't do it throwing some stupid rallies. You know where the rallies were born from in the United States? These ones you're seeing now? They were born out of the patriotic idea of flag waving in order to raise awareness that we want Donald Trump as president. See, guys like me and other people were doing that all over the United States, all through 2016, right? And it worked. Donald Trump got elected. It was never expected for him to get elected. They didn't even think for 1 second he even had a chance. But we got him elected by making people aware that they need to vote for Donald Trump. Get out and vote. We're going to take this election. We, the people. And we, the people, put Donald Trump into office. You damn straight. Well, during that mix, towards the end of 2016, you started seeing a lot of these stupid rallies pop up. They were funded by the likes of CARE and Sunlight, the communists and the Muslims, and the racist groups, the Democrats, on both sides. And the people pretending to be patriots over here on our side, like Patriot Prayer, 10 years in prison, doesn't believe in God. He's actually an atheist. People go there and donate to this guy like crazy, lots of money. And then they get involved in going to these rallies. And really, they were just trying to set patriots up, to get beat up. Once they got them outnumbered, and they know they got them outnumbered like 3-1, they would then turn on them and beat them up. That was the original agenda and objective. But also along the way, they could get patriots thrown in prison for things like assault with a deadly weapon, and things like that. And in some cases, it did work. So people simply start going to these stupid rallies, not realizing that they've been had. See, Donald Trump's already elected, so why do we need to have flag waves? We don't. If you got 10, 20 people and y'all want to go take over an overpass and just fly American flags, nothing wrong with that. But it's not necessary. And that's not how we're going to win back America. In fact, it could be. It could help a little bit. But doing something like a rally or those kind of things, they serve no purpose. Unless you're rallying for against a certain gun law, like shortly after they want to put this up for a vote. That causes people attention to that you want your gun rights. But more importantly than doing that is voting. If you garner attention on who to vote for, and then you spread the word and get people to help vote for the right people into office, all of those things disappear overnight. The threat of them taking your guns is gone. The threat of them taking down statues is gone. And it does work because I got proof. We got Donald Trump elected into office. So if we can create a Christian conservative voting list, we will clean house in the United States. And they know this. That's why they're scared of me creating a Christian voters list. But it's not going to be just me. We got to have other people help out. There ain't no way I could do this the entire country like that. There's no way. So we got to make a call out for people to help out with the voting list. And so I guess like tonight I'll start doing videos promoting that. Okay? God bless everybody, and I'll see y'all on the next go around. How about that? Some good music, ain't it? Hell yeah. We're gonna win. We're gonna win this fight.